Hello and welcome to a DFS Strategy video for the 2023 Hero World Challenge. My name is Eric, and here at SweetSpotDFS, it's all about trying to hit the optimal lineup every single week. I usually do that by looking at the bucket system as well as the marquee tee times, but this is the Hero World Challenge. There are only 20 golfers in this field, so looking at the marquee tee times, not going to be to our benefit. I will cover the bucket system a little bit, but I'm mostly creating this video for the giveaways of November. So I'm going to do the weekly giveaway for the RSM Classic, as well as the monthly giveaway of November. Since this is the last tournament in November, I'm gonna run it now. I kind of said this during the RSM Classic, so it shouldn't be a surprise to you if you've listened to this before. But yeah, that's the primary reason for this. I'm also gonna give you some updates of what I'm looking forward to in 2023 at the end of the video. So we're gonna first start with giveaways, go into the golf stuff, and then go into a look to 2023 portion of the video. So you can find all the timestamps down below if you want to skip ahead. Let's go ahead and get right into the giveaways. So obviously I like to run a monthly giveaway as a weekly giveaway. I'm not running anything in this video. We won't see another PGA Tour event until January. So I just want to throw this on the screen to see how you could have entered and what was at stake. If we were to reach 500 subscribers, I was going to give away $50. We didn't. We hit 460. So I did have some new subscribers in the month of November, which is very difficult since the NFL takes precedence over almost anything. So getting new people to watch the stream or watch these videos is pretty difficult. So I am very appreciative of all the new followers that I got in November. Thank you very much. Before we get into the monthly giveaway and the weekly giveaway, one last reminder, because I'll still do this. If you want to try out Prize Picks for free, there's a link in the description that'll send you to the Prize Picks sign up page, and it'll already populate that promo code SweetSpot in there. And if you do sign up using that promo code and put at least $20 in your account, I'll give you $20 back. Plus Prize Picks will give you another $20 because they're going to match your deposit up to $100. So your 20 will turn into 40, and it will only basically you'll only need to put in your sign up information as well as that initial $20 deposit. So again, link in the description. Highly encourage you guys, sign up if you haven't, if you're in a state that allows it. It'll help out me, help out you. It's a win-win. But let's go ahead, let's get into our giveaways. We're gonna run the monthly giveaway. So I did say if we reach our subscriber goal, I was gonna give away $500. I forgot to mention if we didn't hit that, I was gonna give away a t-shirt. And the t-shirt's going to have the logo right here. Obviously, it's backwards on your guys' screen because I have the camera flipped just to make it better for streaming purposes. But you will get a t-shirt if you would like one. And if you already have a t-shirt for me, we can work something else out. Just you'll have to contact me. But I have everybody who participated in the month of November, all of their all of the usernames for all the YouTube videos that I posted and all the comments that are in there, all of the guys here. So if you don't see your name, let me know. Well, I'll try to work something out, but I'm pretty sure I got everyone's name. So RSM, the Houston Open, I'm using old acronyms, so that stands for the Shell Houston Open, and then OHL's from Mayakoba. So once I hit the yes here, we'll find a winner. You win a t-shirt. And again, if you already have one, let me know. We can work something else out. Drum roll, please. Shot like Harden. It's awesome. If you would like this t-shirt, obviously message me. I know we have each other's email. You put in 3 entries over this month of November. Obviously, it increases your chances. And there you go. We have a t-shirt winner. So awesome. Shot like Harden, reach out to me. Now, basically what I'll do, bring this back to no and remove everybody from the Houston Open and as well as the OHL, and we'll do the weekly giveaway here. So here are our users. Shot like Harden. Oh boy. Okay. Hey man, I guess lightning struck twice. Congratulations. Shot like Harden, you get $5. We'll put it into the Drive the Green or whatever. I think I have all your information, so I'll just send you the $5. But hey, I'm sure the other users are probably not okay with that, but it's all random. Again, just to show you guys, it's all random. Here's our basically the values of the random function that I use. So if I were just to hit enter, you're going to see these numbers change. Maybe here? How about I do, maybe I had to put a digit in there. There you go. See, any command that I create, it's just going to rechange these and it'll show you all the different winners. So this wasn't rigged. I don't want you guys thinking it was rigged. I mean, I feel like I have to validate that because I don't want you guys feeling, you know, gypped at in any way, shape, or form. So Shot Like Harden, congratulations, man. You win twice. T-shirt, $5. Let's move on. Let's go into this tournament. Like I said, this is mostly going to do with roster construction because we have 3 10K golfers, 2 9K golfers, 2 8K golfers, you know, a couple 7s and some 6s. Obviously, Tiger Woods is out as well as Hideki Matsuyama, so keep that in mind. It's a pretty good strength of field. If I were to scroll over, actually, let me hide this. By the way, guys, cheat sheet is available. I did update it, so there's a link in the description if you want to go check that out. You can just follow along with me while this is happening. I also do have the optimizer set to go as well. I think this is going to be wonderful for this week. I do have the bucket criteria in there already, so if you do want this, reach out to me. Contact information right there, SweetSpotDFS@gmail.com. I'll send it to you. Yeah, back to the roster construction portion of this. I was talking about the strength of field, 357. It dwarfs the RSM Classic. I think there was like 160 is your strength of field. So we have a lot of good golfers here. And if you're kind of wondering, like, well, why should I trust any of these guys? You know, trying hard seems like a vacation spot. $1 million goes to first place. So that's probably why these golfers are still going to try, regardless of it being a 20-man field, regardless of it being a vacation destination. Again, it's in the Bahamas. I didn't say that before, but yeah, they're gonna be playing. They're gonna want to win. So just keep that in mind. Now, for roster construction, if we wanted to look back at like past optimal lineups for this tournament, I really only have 2019 and 2022. I didn't record anything in 2021, so I don't have that information, and I did try to reach out to some people to see if they had it. But, and by the way, in 2021, they didn't have a tournament because of COVID, so I'm really only missing 2020. I don't have the salary information for that, so I can't really give you an analysis on that. But if we look at 2019, the optimal lineup used up $49,800 of the $50,000 you get from DraftKings. So it left $200 on the table. And it followed the 10-9-8 766. So usually I say 776, like 10-9-8 776 for your salaries, but it did use that in 2019. And then 2022, it used 49,000 of the 50,000, and you did want a 10K golfer. You did want a 9K golfer, but then we don't have any 8K golfers. Instead, we have 3 7s and a 6. So like I've said to you in the past, to me, I like to start out with a 10-9-8 776, and then I can make 2 substitutions. So what I mean by that is you take each of those salaries, like a 10. So if I wanted to make 1 substitution, I could go from a 10 down to a 9. That's 1 substitution. If I wanted to make 2, I could go from that 10 down to a 9, and then maybe I bump that 6 up to a 7. So I would have a 9-9-8 7-7-7 build. I think if you do that, it still kind of follows all of the past optimal lineups that we've ever seen. You know, not just for this tournament, but just for tournaments all over. I shouldn't say all over, but tournaments that we've gone through in the past. Personally, I think you're going to want a 10K golfer no matter what. And I think it's going to be really easy for people to gravitate towards like 2 10K golfers and then like 2 6K golfers. Look who we have. Morikawa is 6,900. Cameron Young is 67. Max Homa is 66. Tom Kim is 65. Corey Connors was the late ad, 63. Probably just going to stay away from Sepp Straka, but me saying that might actually be the kind of the smart strategy play. Not a lot of people will play Sepp Straka because a lot of people would be okay to play Billy Horschel as well as Kevin Kisner. Sepp is my lowest rank golfer in this field. Obviously, if you look at all the names, pretty easy. Like, that just kind of stands out. So I think it's going to be really easy going with 2 10K golfers. I wouldn't be surprised if we have 3 10K golfers because I think you can make that work out. You cannot, so never mind. But even if you went like this, you know, Sky Scheffler, John Rahm, Xander Schauffele, then go down to Sepp, Horschel, and Kisner, that works out. You could even replace one of these guys with Corey Connors. Either the 6200 or the 6100. That you're allowed to do that. So yeah, I could see a lot of lineups kind of looking like this, and I don't think that's an issue because again, if we go back to 2019, look at that other golfer underneath the optimal. So it's the top 6 golfers are in your optimal. It's Dustin Johnson at 10-5. So you could have went 10-5, 11, probably 8-7, 6-6, and maybe no. Yeah, so I don't know. You could do something like this where you went 11, 10, 8, and then 3 6K golfers, kind of like what I just created. Not so much, but kind of. I don't know if that's going to be doable. You know, I don't think that would have won you a GPP because you are going to most likely need to hit the nuts if you're going to win a GPP this week. In 2020 or in 2022, you can see Morikawa's wedged in there, 49,000. So I don't know how we could make this work out. Yeah, I don't think we can make 2 10K golfers work out in this one. Nope. So yeah, I mean, hey, so I only have 2 years of data. And it does follow just having 1 10K golfer in your lineup. It isn't to say this year at this event we won't see 2 10K golfers. They could literally finish first and second. If we look at 2023, you know, Rahm and Scheffler could finish first and second. It's very easy that could happen, and you're going to need them in your lineup if you want to win a GPP. It's really up to you. What is your roster construction? How would you like to, you know, build your lineups? If there was ever, to me, if I'm thinking game theory, if there's ever a tournament where you really want to look at ownership and try to pivot, it'd probably be this one. But it's not going to be pivoting to any of these guys, I don't think. I mean, not to any of these guys. You don't want to pivot from one of these guys to a different one just because of ownership. You're going to win a tournament down here. Again, Matsuyama's out and so is Tiger Woods, but you're going to have to get the right 6K golfers in your lineup as well as the right 7K golfers. I mean, I kind of just made a John Maddenism there where you need to have the right golfers. Of course you do, but your pivots down in the 6K range are going to be way more I don't want to say opportunistic, but that's probably the right word in winning a GPP, is trying to pivot to a low-owned guy down here. And hey, if you tie for first place, who cares? Really. So if you want to take a really chalky lineup and enter that into all your contest, that's fine. That's not a big deal. So as I'm looking at it, you know, how about this? Let's take a look at the bucket system really quickly. Really, we don't have any last week buckets because there's always a week off before the Hero World Challenge, so we have 0 last week buckets. And I really only have like 2 years of salary data and 1 year of strokes gain data, so I'm not really going to look at any of those buckets in this one. But if we're taking a look at this kind of like objectively, last year ones, now if you know what these buckets are, they go by every 20th place. There's never over 20 golfers, so you're gonna find a lot of, you know, golfers who are in the last year one bucket. Let me actually open this up so we can take a look at the top 5 buckets. So I'm projecting somewhere between 2 to 5 golfers from the last year one bucket being inside the top 10. The bucket system only looks at the top 10, so it's like 2 to 5, which means you're going to want somewhere between 2 to 6 golfers who did not play, who are in that last year's 6 bucket. It's not to say they don't have tournament history here, but what that kind of helps you understand or realize is if you do go to the cheat sheet and you take a look at that, you know, you make a copy, obviously, where you can put filters down. If we're only looking at our last year's 6s, who are golfers who did not play, we don't have a lot of them. We have 11. I'm telling you, you want to play somewhere between 2 to 6 golfers from this bucket. Well, you have pretty good chance to actually hit the right golfers here. And likewise, you also have a really good chance to find the right golfers from the last year ones, which again is 2 to 5. You want to build somewhere between 2 to 5. And maybe I have that wrong. Was it 2 to 6? 2 to, I think it might be 2 to 6. Yeah, so my conservative bucket here says 5.01, and we always round up, so that's 6. But either way, if I'm looking at it, maybe 2 to 5 is the best way to look at, and, you know, build lineups that way. But you have 9 golfers, so you want to select at least 2 from here. You want to select 2 from the other one. I think that's a good way to start, and then you just try to mix and match and fix, you know, or fit in what works best. To me, it makes building lineups easier, and I certainly don't want, I guess never mind. I was gonna say I certainly don't want 6 golfers from the same bucket, but that's not true. You mean both of them technically are 2 to 6, so it works out. Now, looking at the other 2 buckets that are worth looking at, course history as well as recent form, you're gonna see a little of the same. However, course history ones are golfers who've never played this tournament before. This is interesting because there's only 7 golfers in that bucket this week. You want somewhere between 1 to 3. We take a look at that bucket. Course history 6s. And let's just go by salary. Sungjae is the most expensive guy, 7,800, and then it drops to 7 and down below. And guess what? Our boy Sepp Straka is there as well. Again, Sepp is my worst ranked golfer in this field, but he might be the way you win a GPP, because I just don't see him being that owned unless there are people touting him. I'm not sure. I have no idea. I haven't been listening to anything this week, but Sepp Straka is probably the way to go. There are a lot of great names in the 6K range, and this is probably where you'll win it. And I mean, if I'm playing against you guys who are watching this video, who are taking this into account and kind of using it as your truth, because I'm not talking about Sungjae or Shane Lowry, I might then pivot to one of those guys. If I'm playing against you guys, and we're seeing this, obviously it looks really juicy in the 6K range, and I'd rather play golfers from here than I would here. But if this was like a SweetSpot DFS Open or whatever, I'd probably go Sungjae and Shane just to be a little different than you guys. And I guess that's a good way to put it too, is if you are in a low participation type of contest, like not a lot of entrants are in there, or not a lot of entries are in there. So let's say you're in a 20-man contest with your friends or with people that you found on the internet or whatever. It's a good way to pivot. It's kind of what I was just going through with this bucket. Remember, you want somewhere between 1 to 3. So that's going to limit you. You don't want 6 golfers from here. Most likely you can't, because, well, you could. I just don't think it would be smart. You have 7 golfers total. You're not going to get up to $50,000, or even above 49 is what I usually like to build lineups with, and I'm still gonna follow that this week. I want to build all my lineups $49,000 and above. I don't want to dip down any lower than that. I don't like that. But this is a week that you could. Only 20 golfers. There are only so many combination lineups that you can actually build this week. Whereas most weeks, if you take every golfer into consideration, you've got billions. I think there's actually trillions of different combinations and lineups you can build. Here we're probably in the thousands at most. So yeah, I guess seeing this 1 to 3, I really like Max Homa. I really like Tom Kim. Cam Young we haven't seen in a while, so you know I have no idea. I think maybe he had an injury, or maybe he was just kind of chilling, you know, not straining himself throughout the fall swing. So who knows? I'm not sure on that. But if there is some speculation on there, that might be a good reason to play Cam Young. Spent too much time on the course history sixes. Let's talk more about the other buckets. Obviously, you could build all your lineups with course history ones. You could build somewhere between 4 to 6 of them. I have 7.25 as the max projection of finishing inside the top 10. That means up to 8 golfers I could reasonably see inside the top 10 this week from that course history 1 bucket. And of course, there are no more than 20 golfers in these tournaments and in the Hero World Challenges. So anyone that who comes back will always have this unless they withdrew. So withdraws, I've kind of like thought to myself, do I include withdraws into finishing places? And then for this tournament, how do we figure that out? I see the success rates are a little bit wonky. Probably should fix that somehow. I'm sure it's looking at it the wrong field because this is not correct. I'll update that on the cheat sheet if you're looking at it, but yeah, this is not right. Okay, moving on. So recent form buckets. This is where we kind of see a little bit of a shakeup. I mean, it's like 1 to 4 for every single bucket except for the recent form 3s. Okay, so not every bucket. The first 2 buckets, 1 to 4. And this says 2 to 4. Remember, we round down with the minimums and we round up with the maximums, so 2 to 4. But if I go to my kind of conservative, so 3.46 is the conservative projection for the maximum. That goes up to 4. Oh, I must have done that wrong. I was looking at the wrong one. So yeah, this should be 2 to 4. I was gonna say it was 1 to 4, but nope, 2 to 4. That's right. So hey, that also helps out. There's only 9 golfers in that one. 1 to 3 recent form 3s. We have 5 golfers there. So this is where you can really change up your lineup and how to build. So we go back to 2023 and we just look at our recent form buckets, like the 1, 2, and 3 buckets. We have quite a bit, so maybe we should just break it down. So recent form 1s, we want somewhere between 1 to 3 from here. Well, look at that. Tom Kim's there, Matt Fitzpatrick, Xander, Rahm, Scheffler. Hint here, or spoiler warning, Rahm and Schauffele, my favorite golfers this week. They are number 1 and number 2 in my model this week. They're also on the thumbnail. I could see myself building lineups this way, and if I do, it's kind of scary because I really like Matthew Fitzpatrick. I know the projection is 1 to 3, but I like to err on the conservative side with a lot of these projections. I don't like to go to 3. I'd rather stay around 2 and maybe even just make sure 1. So with that being said, yeah, if I like Rahm and Schauffele, I don't think I'm picking any of these other guys. Might come to burn. It might burn me, but I'm okay. I'm pretty comfortable with that. Now going to recent form 2s, we have JT up there, so maybe we could go like JT and Rahm or JT and Schauffele, and then jump down to like a Tom Kim or even a Matt Fitzpatrick in that last one. Or we could find 2 golfers we want to build our lineups around here. And like for me, it's like, why not go with Justin Thomas, Cam Young, and or Max Homa? And then obviously I could go back to that recent form 1 bucket, pick up Rahm and Tom Kim. So I have 2 6K golfers I could go with, or 3 6K golfers. Who knows? Maybe that's not the way to go, but maybe it's Fitzpatrick and Rahm to go with those other guys that I put that I selected. I think that's fine. Colin Morikawa might be overlooked here. I'd also go to him. And then the last one, this is like 1 to 3. So the last one was 2 to 4. This is 1 to 3. So this actually is really interesting too. Is this actually 1 to 3? Yeah. 1 to 3, 5 golfers in it. Let's see, 4. Is that because... Ow. 5. Are we looking? I hope we're not looking at buckets. That would be no bueno. Perfect. 2023. Looking at E. E is correct. And H. H is correct. Okay. So it's because Tiger Woods is here. So let me just think I can do this without screwing it up. Shift up. And Matsuyama. Delete. Shift up. You know what? I don't want to do that. We're just, oh boy. It's choosing that because Matsuyama's there. And yeah, I think that's fine. Let me double check what goes into this. So it does take a number of golfers in there. Okay, so I do have to remove them. It's a good reminder for me. I should do this with every tournament. I don't, because it makes things easier for me to update files afterwards. So I definitely should do that. So I bet you now the projection changes. Not by a lot. Now it's 0 to 2. Remember, if this is not over 2, this automatically becomes 0. So yeah, it does change that. It doesn't really change any of the other buckets, just from first glance. Everything's about the same. Okay. So 0 to 2 golfers from here. You don't want more than 2, and honestly, do I feel comfortable with taking more than 1? I don't know. Probably not. 1 at the max, but I can also just avoid this one altogether. I like the other two, the other buckets better. So anyways, those are the buckets this week, and that is a lot longer than I needed it to be. I said I was going to go through this quick, but it's fine. Let's look at some lineups. So I have the optimizer, and I need to change something really quick. Recent form 2s. I want at least 2. Weird. This is being really weird. What's going on? There you go. Okay. So I built one lineup, and when I eyeballed how I wanted to build lineups, I was like, ooh, I like Rahm. I like Schauffele. This looks great. Hovland, Spieth, Homa, Kim. Not terrible. Do I have the max correct? So what was I was talking about? Was I talking about recent form 1s where I didn't want to have more than... It's definitely jumped up, so 1 to 4. That is correct. I'm trying to remember which one we were just talking about. Yeah, it was this one. Right? Yeah, I think it was that one. I just don't remember it being that small. I thought it was the bucket was a little bit bigger. It's not. So yeah, recent form 1s. 1 to 3. Actually, it's 1 to 4. Yeah, 1 to 4. And that's what I have. Okay. Weird. All right. So anyways, I created a lineup that I absolutely love. I think a lot of people build lineups very similar to this, where you have like Homa and Tom Kim included in your lineup. I think that's a wonderful way to go. But let's see, now that I made these updates, what it'll do. Because now it's making sure it selects at least 2 recent form 2s. Okay. So a lineup like this, I don't mind. I don't really care for Finau. but this might be enough just to be different than everyone else. Like, yeah, absolutely. Lowry, Morikawa. Do I think people are going to build lineups with those two golfers in it? Probably not. I don't mind that at all. I do need to change some things with the 10K because I don't think I updated that. So not gonna put this many in there. Everything's pretty decent. Yeah, these projections for the salaries aren't gonna work out. All right, we're gonna leave that as is. Whatever. Not gonna worry about it. I think we have. How about this? Let's just move everything to 3. Let's make sure everything is set to 0, and maybe I do 3 6K golfers. And then we build the lineup again. Let's clear this out. See what it'll do. Same one. Perfect. Love to see it. Nothing really changed there. See another one. Yeah, I like that one. Spieth, Lowry, Homa. How about one more? Finau again. So if it's not Rahm and Schauffele, it looks like it's Rahm Finau, which is super interesting. And then I broke it. So that kind of tells me you want to lock in some golfers. If I were to lock in Rahm and Schauffele, I kind of like this about the optimizer because you can only build so many lineups built based off of the buckets, especially for this week. We do this. Now we include Horschel. Could be a different lineup. Lowry showing up once again. 2 9K golfers. That might be a little different. Fitzpatrick, I like that. We already saw this lineup. Watch, we can't build anymore. Okay, now Fleetwood, Kim Connors. And we broke it. So if we went Rahm, Schauffele, just by using the optimizer, we can't build more than 3 lineups. Is that correct? So what if I were to actually remove Lowry from them? Would I just break it completely? We kind of already saw that one. Morikawa, Kim, Horschel, Fleetwood, Connors. I think we saw that one. Okay, we're building a couple more. And then we broke it. So what if I said no to Billy Horschel? Because here's the other thing. If you're actually using this, unfortunately, it won't build out as many lineups as you possibly can build with it and then sort it by, you know, the metric that it goes by. It just doesn't have that capability. And like it'll show you the top lineups that you could choose from. Just doesn't have that capability because it is Excel and it only lives off of, you know, the limited logic that you can build into it. But if we said no to Lowry and Horschel, okay, I don't think we've seen that one, so that's decent. Kisner gets involved. I don't think we've seen that one yet. Okay, and now Cam Young. I like that. So anyways, you can mess around with the minimum salary if you wanted to. You can change this to like 48,000 if you want. You just got to type it in. Yeah, to me, I think a week like this is actually kind of fun because you can only build so many lineups. I don't really care about the marquee tee times, by the way. This week it's a little bit challenging, so I actually changed that here in the criteria. I'm allowing more than 2 golfers from a group to be picked, and obviously we have no minimums because that would be difficult. The only golfers that aren't in the top 10 groups or the top 9 groups are Sam Burns and Kevin Kisner, and I don't mind either of them. I think they're fine plays. And I guess Rahm and Schauffele are playing together, which I guess I don't mind. Maybe if we want to, you know, go against having a golfer from the same group play together, maybe we just go JT and Schauffele. Bet you we can build a bunch of kind of interesting lineups starting with those two. Not really. pretty much Rom, JT, Xander, and then the 3-6Ks like we talked about earlier. That's kind of funny though. Here we go, 3 7Ks and a 6. That's pretty unique. And then it breaks. So JT might not be the move. What if it's Scotty Scheffler? Scotty Scheffler and Xander? Could that be the move? A lot of Connors and Horschel and Kim are showing up. It's kind of... That one breaks too. So I like doing this Wednesday night. I just build out a bunch of different lineups just to see what the optimizer likes the most, what, how many different combinations you can have with one lineup. That's not to say if you start with 2 golfers who can build out multiple different lineups, like we just saw with Rahm and Schauffele, what we didn't see with Scheffler and Schauffele or JT and Schauffele, it's not to say that no matter what, Rahm and Schauffele is the way to go. I mean, that I haven't seen any proof in that whatsoever. Maybe if it's limited and you like those 2 golfers and you only have the option between 2 lineups, maybe that's a perfect time just to mass enter one lineup. I shouldn't even say mass enter, but enter one lineup in multiple different contests. And then that way it'll give you the higher chance, the highest chance just to win a bunch of money from each of those contests. Maybe you take all of them down. But anyways, that's up to you. Let's move on to what to look forward to in 2023. Let me just pull this down. We don't need that anymore. Let me bring up some goals that I had at the beginning of the year. So I had season-long goals. See if it shows up. Perfect. First goal was to build a database. I just finished it. So we have a check mark on that. I wish I could put a check mark. Second one, publish the website. That won't happen this year. It probably won't happen until sometime next year. It all really depends on, I have to, okay, so 1, build a database. Done that. Now I have to determine how to put that into a report using Power BI. Then I'll put that Power BI report onto a website, and it's going to look just like the Rick Run Goods site, essentially, because he uses Power BI to throw his reports on there, and I like the way that looks. That looks, so that's how I'll be doing it as well. It took me a long time to build a database because creating YouTube videos or creating content for YouTube takes time. I also have a 9-to-5 job that takes time. So my, outside of just having fun here and there, I was working on this, on the database, and between RSM Classic and here, I pretty much got the last piece, the last chunk that I needed to do to finish it, to be comfortable moving ahead and starting to mess around with the reports. Kind of a rookie when it comes to Power BI, so I don't really know the correct reports to build, but we'll get there. I'll get there. The third goal was reach 1,000 subscribers. Obviously haven't reached that. Haven't even reached half of that. So maybe that was a lofty goal, but hey, I'm still going to be shooting for 1,000, so didn't get that one done. The next 2 couldn't find one optimal lineup. So actually, when I made this season goal, the Tournament of Champions was the closest I had gotten to an optimal lineup. I had 5 of the 6 golfers you need in an optimal lineup. And the 6th guy that I chose was actually the 3rd highest scoring guy I could have chosen from. So what I mean by that, I think it was Matt Jones is who I ended up selecting. I could have chosen one other guy ahead of him who scored a couple more points than him. That would have still fit in my salary range, to build a lineup. But then there was one more guy ahead of him that was also within the salary range that scored more points than the other 2. But I had Matt Jones. So it was like, I was really close. I was 2 golfers away from having the optimal lineup. Still didn't get it, but it was super close. And hopefully, maybe here at the Hero World Challenge, I can hit it. Probably a little easier because there's 20 golfers, but we'll see. I could mass enter and just put all the different combinations of lineups I could possibly put and hit it that way. But we're going to follow the SweetSpot process and see how that works. And now the fifth goal was to win a GPP, which I didn't, but I did win two. Well, one was a season-long contest. That was the Nagel Bagels Listener League. Won that one because I won 3 of those contests and obviously placed really well in the other ones. And the other one's the Fall Classic, or the Fall Swing, with our boy Chad Eckert from the Fantasy Golf Pod. He was running a Fall Swing event. I won that one. So that one came with money at the end of it. Nagel's Bagels came with the trophy, which I posted on Twitter. I don't have it within reach to show you, but the SweetSpot process was good this year. That Tournament of Champions, the one that I hit, basically that money I was able to ride out throughout the entire year and just play off of that. I also was able to withdraw $600. I chose that number because, or $599. I chose that number because if you withdraw $600, Minnesota taxes it, and I'm just not gonna. Why would I do that? I don't want it taxed. So $599 won't be taxed. That's mine. And we're still playing with house money. So it was a good year. It was a good year. I think I'm still going to have these as my season goals going into next year, but what you get to expect from me that's a little bit different is I am going to update the whole video package. I always like to change the interface that you can see, like the overlay that I have on right now. You can see the little bar that keeps skipping across. I like to update all this. I don't know if I'll actually update this because I actually really like how this looks. I do like to freshen things up, so it's a possibility. I'll work through it. It's not a priority of mine. I bought a new computer. I did it during the Black Friday sales. That will be coming to me somewhere in the middle of December. That computer will be powerful enough for me to video edit. I haven't been able to edit any of my videos because the computer I'm running on right now is just a business computer. There's not really a graphics card in there. Like there is, but it's not great. So yeah, I haven't been able to do any of those video editing. So what I plan to do is kind of like in this video, I kind of went bucket by bucket. I think I'm going to create one video. I'll create 2 videos a week. I'll do a preview video and a strategy video. We'll review the last week's event and the preview. We'll just go over that really quickly. But I think what I'm going to plan to do in those previews is just do a deep dive on the bucket system. And I'm going to give you my favorite golfers from each bucket. We'll talk about how many golfers you want from each bucket. That way, I think all of you will be able to understand it a little bit better, the way that my mind works with this. And then what I plan to do with those long videos is I'm gonna cut them up and create, spit out some shorter versions of those videos. So obviously, like in a preview, I go through like the course information, the tournament information, and then I go into the buckets and stuff like that. Well, I'll just cut it up to the course information. Could be a 2-minute long video. Boom, I'll throw that on YouTube. So if you want just that information, you got it. Same will apply with, the tournament information and the buckets. I'll probably cut them up into each bucket, like here are your last year buckets, here are your last week buckets, so on and so forth. There are 6 buckets, so I'll probably just throw out 6 videos and say, hey, from these buckets, you want to select this many golfers, and here are my favorite ones. I'm going to see how that works. And like I said, this computer that I bought is powerful enough to video edit. I think I can splice these videos very quickly and put them into, smaller videos and post them pretty fast. So I'm going to see how that works out. I think I want to explore the YouTube Shorts that is available to us. So I'm going to explore that avenue. Try to put out more video content. And I couldn't do it no matter what. The computer I have now, if I were to splice up, say like 40 seconds in a video, like take out 40 seconds to try to make it faster, it took 2 hours to actually process that video. and then the product that came out on the other side, not that great. So I'm looking forward to this. I've done a lot. I've invested a lot into the whole, the whole streaming thing. So I just recently invested. I'll have a new desk. I'll have a new computer. I'll have new monitors. It'll be fresh. So I'm looking forward to that. The database, obviously, creating the reports that I can publish to the website. Hopefully I'll have a website up before the Masters. That would be like a huge goal of mine, is to get something up before the Masters. So I'll be playing around with reports, trying to figure out how to present data to you guys that would be meaningful and interesting. And yeah, I think that's basically all that I have when it comes to looking forward to 2023. I'll probably do some live videos too. I think maybe Wednesday, when I'm constructing lineups, maybe I'll go through my process and answer some questions while I'm building lineups. I know it's kind of one of those bugaboos that people don't like seeing. Maybe I won't show you all the lineups that I'm building. But I also don't care. Like, if I were to build lineups and save them, you don't know which contests I'm putting those into. So I don't think it's going to hurt. I don't mind if we as a community win, honestly. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Before I sign off, I do want to ask you guys a question. If there is anything that you'd like to see from me, please post it in the comment section below. That way I will be able to, first of all, see what you guys would like and provide it, if possible. So I mean that. There's something that you'd like to see. Either you've seen from me in the past, or you haven't seen at all. Let me know down in the comment section, and I'll definitely take it into consideration. It's all about improving the stream and improving the experience for you guys, so let me know. Yeah, that's all that I have, guys. I appreciate you sticking around all the way to this part of the video and really watching all the videos that I've posted. It means a lot. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you in the new year. Tournament of Champions. All right, bye.